Hi, I'm Dr. Hillary Hushower Jones. I read this great book and I wanted to tell you about it. It's called When. It's the Scientific Secrets of Perfect Timing. So it's by Daniel H. Pink. There's a lot of books on time and timing. And so here's one that I read. I wanted to summarize it for you. There's quite a bit of details in scientific research in it. So if you like that, then you'll love reading it all. It wasn't a difficult read. It's just a lot of details and experiments on time that I didn't always think were necessary, but I like to summarize things. So that's what we're going to do today. So let's see. The first part of it is to go to this website and learn about your chronotype. If you've never heard of that, definitely you want to do it. It took 2 minutes to go to this website, thepowerofwhenquiz.com. In the book, he talks about a different one. However, I couldn't get to that website as easily as this one, and they're about the same thing. I think even if you were to Google a chronotype quiz, you would come up with this. So start with that. It takes 2 minutes. You'll enter your name and email, and then it will send you your type. There's 3 types. Excuse me, there's 4 types. Lion, dolphin, bear, and wolf. And so it's going to ask you about your sleep habits, your wake habits, when you feel the most rested, when you feel the most alert, when you eat the most, things like that. Really super easy questions. And then it's going to categorize you. I did read in the book that some people are between different types, and then in that case in the book he does give more on paper. You can do a paper format versus on that website, but again the website was 2 minutes. It was super easy. So based on those types, what does it say about you? So what I learned about me, which I wasn't that surprised, was that I'm a lion. So I wake early and have lots of energy throughout the day during a certain time period. And then as the late afternoon, evening comes, I crash. Dolphins, they tend to have more insomnia and sleeping issues. Bears sleep more based on the sun. So they have an 8-hour cycle that they do. And then wolves are hard to wake up in the morning. They have more energy at night. So what was really interesting with mine as a lion, I learned that I should wake up at a certain time and go to bed at a certain time. And for the most part, I actually do that. But then also in the book, when should you use your timing? When should I, do the most of my work or do the most creative part of my work? So knowing what your chronotype is, for me as a wolf, knowing that I should wake up by 5:30 every day, between 5 and 6, which I always wake up at 5:30 anyways. My most important hours are between that time and 2 p.m. And that's perfect because that's when I actually get most of my work done. So whether I'm working at my office, I try to get to my office by 6:30 at the latest. And then I try to get a lot of stuff done between 6:30 and 7. I see patients for a few hours. I get more done in little blocks like that. And I get most of my work for the day done in the morning before lunch. And then I coast towards the end of the day and then I drop and I'm more tired. So for me, exercising after work, with the kids or before after the kids go to bed, I'm already done. My body is done for the day. I do better exercising early. So maybe getting up at 5 and starting exercise versus doing something like exercising at 7:30 or 8 at night. Eating. So it tells you when you should eat, when you need the most energy. And then when you should do more of your creative work. Again, as a lion, I should do more of my creative things in the morning and the more menial tasks at the end of the day. So if I really needed to work on something like marketing or something creating or a lecture or a talk that I was going to be doing, I should do that in the morning. And then I should coast the rest of the day, let's say making appointments or making like chats with my staff or my managers, like I should do those type of things when it doesn't require so much like energy and brain power from me. And then when I should sleep, I should get a certain number of hours per night. And I believe it said I should go to bed by 10 every night, which was great because I love to be asleep by 10 every night. When I should wake up. And then also certain people are nappers and they talk about that. I forget exactly which one is a napper. I am not. But in the book, he does talk about like when the best time to nap is and how to nap. He even talked about this one aspect about a cappuccino nap or something like that. You take like a shot of espresso and then you nap for 15 minutes. And apparently the espresso, it doesn't activate you until about 15 or 20 minutes. And so by the time that your quote nap should be over, that caffeine boost has kicked in. And I thought that was kind of neat. I don't ever feel rested with a nap. And so that's just not going to work for me. So he talks about a lot of different scientific things. Like, for instance, I found this interesting. If you're having a surgery, you should do it right in the morning when doctors are fresh and at their most alert peak state. If you did it after lunch, that seems to be worse. And they have all this like scientific evidence behind it and these percentages of like what goes wrong more when you do things later for different things. They even went into like when you should get married, like the time of day, the year, like just all sorts of interesting like things related to time, and then like the history behind certain things and all the evidence to prove it was very interesting. Again, it was just a lot of information. What I got the most out of it was that I'm a lion, when I should get up, when I should do all my creative stuff, when I should rest, how I should eat, how I should nap, things like that. Another aspect I found in the book, again, because they're talking about like timing in life too, like different life things and timing for that. So there's a section about like goals, like, well, when do you do all these certain things, like in midlife timing, midlife crisis, so to speak. So he gives a great idea in here about writing down 25 goals that you want and then like circling the top 5 and starting with those. So even if it's like the biggest goal on there and you circled it, he's still saying to start with those versus doing like some of the easier goals and building your way up. So again, all the research is written behind why you should do it that way, and it's all in the book too. But I also found that really fascinating because I didn't realize that, or I didn't always look at it in that kind of like lens or perspective. So here are some ways that you can get in touch with me as a business coach. I own HHJ Consulting. I'm also a chiropractor at Rangeline Chiropractic. I've had that practice for over 14 years. And I love business coaching. I've been doing that for over a year now. I do have some spots open. So if you want some information, I have a website, HHJ Consulting, and I have a Facebook group. I mainly work with service professionals and small businesses. So I'm great at helping you with your accountability, knowing like what projects that you should be working on, how to work on, and more creative ideas. I have a lot of creativity that I bring into my businesses. And so I can help you get ideas with that or see your full picture. Or if you had a list of 25 goals, I could help you with that, narrow things down for you and your business. I'm also a certified life coach. So I bring a lot of that into it and really help boost your business, boost your life, your revenue, and just the overall enjoyment of life, because that's pretty much what life's about, isn't it? Thanks for watching.